Killed.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gaffer. This is you, Ming, and you're in the back row. Welcome to another exciting and riveting episode that is In the Back Row Live. Hope you guys all enjoyed watching Samuel Proof, who's on just before us on YouNow, not on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, that probably sounded really confusing. So, welcome.
We love Sam Proof's show. Hello.
Do we love it?
Yes.
We do?
I do.
Well, I know we love Sam, but we also love his show.
Yeah.
What about his car? Do we like his car?
I don't know if I've seen his car. Have I seen his car?
It's kind of nice.
You might have seen his car.
I've seen his car.
You've seen his car. I don't think I saw his car. But yes, I do love his show. It made me laugh quite a bit tonight. Very entertaining. Thank you, Sam.
So if you missed it, bummer. It'll be on again next Sunday.
Yeah, you'll have to wait an entire week. Sadly. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome.
It's been a long, tiring week, and I had the day off today, but not really because I do the show. So it's like I never really get a day off, and that's okay. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, same. But you know what?
What?
It's kind of like a day off. I mean, it's fun. It doesn't feel like work. I mean, you're not getting paid for it.
Fair. So.
Yeah. You got some newsy type junk?
Me? No, I got nothing.
I have a couple of things.
Really? Just a few?
Just a few. Not a whole lot. Wasn't very eventful in the gaming realm this week. The Xbox One was released, though.
I heard that.
Yay!
And saw people waiting
you
malls and/or parking lots.
Oh yeah, you watch them stand outside, huh?
Mm.
Were they intense?
Most of them look pretty lifeless, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
I meant in a tent.
No. There were no campers.
No campers. There were some campers, of course, around the world. There was a couple of people that basically fell asleep waiting for their Xboxes and stuff. And I don't really understand why people stand in line for those things. But then again, I've never done it myself. I'm not even much of a Black Friday type of person. I don't go out to catch the best deal the first time in the morning because I just don't care.
So people fell asleep in line?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it happens.
I mean, were they woken up, or did, once the doors opened, did people just kind of sneak by them?
No, they were woken up.
Okay.
It was fairly uneventful as far as dangerous things go.
Okay.
On a release. I guess you don't really hear much about dangerous things in a release unless it was something super bad.
Rioting.
Oh yeah, like a PlayStation 4 fanboy going around with a machete, chopping people's heads off. No?
I guess that could happen.
Well, I thought about it, but I'm not much of a fan, so I didn't care either way. Anyways, so it was released this last week. It sold 1 million consoles right out of the gate. It was kind of like PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 sold 1 million consoles also within the first 24 hours. So as far as competition goes, they're pretty much neck and neck. Let's see, and of course, they do have problems.
It's all the same people. They just bought both.
Actually, a lot of people did buy both. You'd be surprised. I
don't think I would. I don't think I would be surprised.
You don't think so?
No.
I was surprised.
I know some of those people. And when they told me, I found it unsurprising.
Oh.
So,
Would you find it surprising that I might not buy either?
No, I actually, a little bit, yeah.
Well, that's good because I am still probably going to buy one, but just not yet.
I was fooled.
A couple of times. That was awesome. But the reasons why I don't like to buy them right when they're released is because of course there are problems with any brand new console, with any brand new anything really. I mean, the first thing that's released, it's going to have issues, and then so basically those first
like
million people. Wait, what? That was mean.
Sorry, sis.
Kind of got off track there. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
I'm thinking about apologizing to your sister next time I see her. But I'm not going to apologize for you. Always do that. It always ends up that way.
He's just so top-heavy.
He's eyeball-headed. So anyway, so those first million people I consider to be the beta testers for the hardware. And I'm probably going to wait until the next wave gets released before I decide to buy one. Mainly because I'm cheap and I don't like spending a whole lot of money right out of the bat. Even, especially if I don't know if it's going to be good or not. Sometimes it's not. And so I just wait for other people to test it out, and then I read the forums, and I'm like, oh yeah, so it was crap, so never mind, I'm not going to get it. But apparently, a lot of people like their PlayStation 4s and Xbox Ones, at least the ones that actually work. There are some that were completely dead on arrival, both with, I talked about the PlayStation 4 last week, so you guys heard about all those troubles. But the Xbox One has a whole new set of troubles. One of them, which I thought was kind of funny, it's funny for me, is if you
not for the people who bought them.
Not for the people who bought them, but they would try to put in a CD, one of the game discs. They put it into their Xbox One,
like you would do
to play a game, right? And it would go, and it wouldn't play.
Huh?
It would say, please load an Xbox One CD or a Blu-ray DVD or et cetera, and it's a game and it's supposed to work. So yeah, there was a lot of them that actually the CD drives didn't even work right after that, so then you have to get those replaced. There was a couple of people that said...
Did they sing it?
Yes!
Awesome.
Some consoles had an endless cycle of crashing and rebooting. It would crash, and then it would reboot. And sometimes you would try to turn it off and turn it back on, and it would do it over and over again. So crash, reboot, crash, reboot. And, sometimes Windows computers do that too. So, PCs and Microsoft, Windows, Xbox.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's Microsoft. So we've had some issues with that. Others have a headset. The headsets actually came with the consoles. And some of them don't even output anything in earbuds. It's just a bunch of static. So... that's just one of the accessories, so that's not a big deal.
Sounds like some people just got shipped like the display model.
That's what people were saying.
You can put discs in, but no sound comes out of it, and it doesn't actually do it. It's really just a plastic box with headphones.
And some of them have...
the camera part worked, because they just wanted to watch your fucking frustration.
Only for those that purchased the one with the camera. And some of them have seen an E100 notification, which indicates a total hardware failure that's caused by an update error. So right when they try to update, it'll give this E100 error, and that means that too bad, so sad. You need to get it reformatted and send it back to Microsoft, blah, blah, blah. So others have been reporting unusual sounds coming from the machine. I'm not sure what they mean by unusual sounds.
That might just be the voices in their head. Because their blood pressure rose so much trying to get the damn thing to work that now they're just hallucinating.
Hi, Dawn. Good to see ya. Been a while. Some people complained about missing pixels, blank and frozen screens. But something that's positive, and this kind of goes along with the hard drive failure, is it's actually really easy to replace the hard drive. But of course you have to crack open the Xbox system, which voids your warranty, so you can't really do that. But at least it gives you an idea that you can actually possibly upgrade the hard drive in the future, because it's only a 500 gigabyte right now. And there's people that are frustrated about that, saying 500 gigabytes is not enough. There are a couple of games out there that say, oh, you need 30 gigabytes worth of hard drive space in order to play this game. So, yeah, they're going to need a lot more than that. Not right now. Not right on release. Of course, there's not enough games to fill up a 500 gigabyte hard drive right out of release. But in the future...
Well, maybe that's just so they can sell you, some, an external drive accessories or something cool like that.
Yeah, possibly. USB drives, I don't think those work yet for mass storage. So... they can't use those. That's kind of unfortunate. But the hard drive is actually just a SATA hard drive. It's really a TA2. And it's 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches. So it's one of the basic ones. So.
Now, is that average for a hard drive?
What?
Size-wise?
Lately, it's 500 gigabytes is probably on the lower end of the spectrum. I think everybody's in the terabyte and 2 terabyte ranges right now.
Well, on that hard drive. It's just unacceptable.
It's unacceptable to below average.
Yeah.
In the hard drive. So that's basically what I got for Xbox news. And a couple of other things. The PlayStation 4, to kind of go along with the consoles coming out. Apparently, the PlayStation 4 costs $381 to build. That's how much it costs Sony, and it retails for $399. So that means that Sony is going to be operating on a very small profit margin. Either that or they're on a loss, because $18, I mean, you gotta pay your vendors and retailers possibly. So it may be that they're actually losing money on it. I know that the PlayStation 3, it cost around $800 to build, and they only sold it at, was it $299 or $399 pop? So they made a huge loss on that. No, I'm wrong. It was more than that. $800 to build, and it was $599 was the retail price. So yeah, so they still had quite a loss, $200 on a loss. At least this one's not so bad, but still, it's kind of crazy the way that those things work. So proves that game profit is where it's all at. They don't get much of a profit on the actual consoles themselves, but games they do. It does not cost $60 a game to produce a game. It costs a lot less. And plus you can keep making a game. It's just a little CD drive, a little CD-ROM, or whatever the heck that you're using, DVD. I don't know exactly what their format is, but as far as consoles go, you need to actually use the hardware. So purchasing the hardware from the vendors and all that good stuff, it costs a lot more than the games do. So people, buy your games. Don't just get them from GameStop, like I do.
Don't be like her.
Don't be like me. 'Cause I'm ridiculous.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of GameStop, it was kind of interesting. Grand Theft Auto 5 caused their sales to go up probably about 35% or so, 45% I think it was. It was a huge amount of increase for new game sales at GameStop, but they also reported a 10% drop in share price. So apparently they're kind of going on the downside.
Well, I guess, it kind of surprised because, once you hit a high like that, I guess a lot of people are going to sell off. And they're like, well, I don't think it's going to get any better than this.
Yeah, I know. I just thought that was interesting. There were a lot of people that purchased PlayStation 4 and Xbox One consoles during the past few weeks that actually started selling them on eBay. And that's always very interesting because you have people over in Europe where they don't have that console released yet, and they pay a lot more than it cost you to purchase the item. Xbox, let's see, PlayStation 4, people were purchasing them at $399 and selling them upwards of $600 and more online. I mean, you can make a profit out of doing something like that. I know that, yeah, the Xbox 360 when it came out.
Especially if you're just, sending them, boxes of plastic with headphones that don't work.
Right. Hi, Wizards Broadcast. I like your name. But yeah, there was when I got my Xbox 360, it was actually purchased by work as a bonus. It was our Christmas bonus, and
wow, that's a nice bonus.
Yeah, I know. And my dad ended up selling his.
Seems like we work for Sony.
No. No.
Actually, that makes it sound kind of sad if you put it that way.
Yeah. But my dad was working with me at the same time. He got one of the consoles as well. He ended up selling his, and it was retail $399, I think it was, and he sold his for $650 or $700.
Wow.
So he made quite a killing off of it. I didn't sell mine because I wanted to play it, and now I'm kind of like, maybe I should have done that. But that was a long time ago, so I don't think it matters that much anymore. But I've always thought it was interesting that people will actually pay almost up to twice as much as the console is actually going to sell for, just because they're like, I got the cash to blow, and it's not released over here yet, or they have a shortage of them, so, the demand increasing the supply.
Yeah, you can be the coolest one of your friends for 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
thanks for becoming a fan, Wizard. Woo! Woo! Final Fantasy X and X-2 High Definition finally has a release date. Everybody loves Final Fantasy. Okay, I do. The release is March 18th, 2014 for the United States, and over in Europe, it's March 21st, 2014. I actually watched.
So they're going to be They're going to be looking to buy it on eBay for twice as much.
Probably, only for 3 days. The specific release is actually just for PlayStation 3. They're thinking of doing a PlayStation Vita release, but they don't have a date for that quite yet. I saw a 5-minute segment of the X and X-2. It's all going to be on one disc, by the way, for PlayStation 3. They're not releasing it on 2 discs, so it's all encompassed in one.
Crazy.
Yeah. But I thought it was kind of interesting because the high definition didn't seem like it was a whole lot different than the regular. I mean, it was definitely smoother, not as boxy, but still, I mean, they still talked like, you know, awful voice acting, but, you know, that's from the PlayStation 2 days, so can't really complain about that. So that's kind of neat.
What game were you most disappointed in the graphics for? Like, you expected good things, but you were just like, really? Or better yet, what game do you look back on that you used to play and you can't believe how shitty the graphics are? Feel free, anyone in the chat room, to answer that question as well.
Boy, oh boy.
Because pretty much anytime you go back and play, like, you know, anything from, like, you know, the Atari 2600, you're like, what? I can't even understand what's going on. Is this Q*bert? I don't...
Well, all of the Wii games fascinate me at how awful the graphics are.
Wizards broadcast as Minecraft.
Boxy.
Or World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft was okay. Minecraft, it's made to be boxy. I mean, they're not graphics. They don't focus on the graphics at all. They focus on being boxy. That's just the way Minecraft is. So I don't think so. For me, anyway. But no, I don't really know. I mean, I know of games that I've played that I was fascinated by the graphics, but not of one that I was like, man, this sucks.
She's easy to please, folks. So.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. No, that's a great question. I'm gonna have to think on that one.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The graphics are amazing in my opinion. The graphics of what? Thanks for becoming a fan, Colton.
The graphics of
Coltigen? I think.
I think it's called Tegan.
Coltigen?
That's what I'm going to call him.
Alright, that works for me. Coltigen. Oh, the graphics are amazing in Minecraft. Okay. Great. So you're easy to please too.
So that's what it was. He was answering both questions in the order that I asked him. That's what it was. That makes sense now.
Order of operations or something. A lot of multiplayer online games have better graphics than I expect. Like Lineage 2 had fantastic graphics, and I wasn't really expecting it. Actually, Guild Wars has pretty good graphics. I mean, it's not very realistic. It's more of a cartoony type of style, but I still like it. Yeah, I don't know of any that I was disappointed. I think I pretty much have low expectations as far as graphics go, and then when it's better, I'm like, great.
I guess it's good to keep your expectations low.
Yep, totally.
Unless you're looking for a spouse.
Yeah. Oh, the man says it correctly. How did you say it again? Coltigen?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Fantastic. Good on you.
Sure.
So it looks like a Game of Thrones game is in the making. There's already a couple of games out that are just kind of like browser-based, but actually a full game might be coming out. Telltale Games is the developers that's going to possibly be making this game, and there hasn't been a whole lot of information on it yet. They're kind of being hush-hush about it, so I'm excited to see, because I like the series, I like the book, I like the HBO movies, and I would love the game, because I like games.
And the graphics don't even have to be any good.
They can be all pixelated, 16-bit, I don't care.
8-bit.
8-bit graphics.
It's just the screen's just one big cube of color. That's all
Oh, there you go. How would you know where to go?
You just have to move the controls around until it changes color.
It turns red, that means you died. Turns blue, you hit someone. Amazon.com is also currently doing its Black Friday sales. One of the sales that I saw on there, which kind of blew my mind, was BioShock. They're actually releasing 3 Steam downloads. There's BioShock 1, BioShock 2, and BioShock Infinite for $15. And I'd say that each one of those games is worth more than $15 easily.
Oh, yeah.
So I would say get on there and buy it now. If I had an extra $15, I'd probably have done it already, but I haven't.
I still have that Amazon gift.
Oh, don't even. So, I know that they're fantastic games. I've never had the chance to play them myself just because I've never purchased them, but I've my interest has been piqued.
She's got her interest piqued.
Yes, I know
Thinking.
that it's great because I've heard it from a lot of friends and a lot of forums, a lot of posts. A lot of people just love the games and are fascinated by it. I mean, I got a best friend who's tattooed on his wrist the BioShock links. So, it resonates with people.
Apparently.
So the sale actually runs through Saturday, November 30th at 12:10 a.m. I think that's Eastern time.
So if you're not so much a Black Friday shopper, so much as a gray Saturday morning shopper, you can still grab it.
Yep, pretty much. And yeah, they also got a ton of other sales on there. Not to just be an Amazon plug, but here I am talking about Amazon, so why not? So I've been kind of like sifting through all of the sales that they have just to see if there's something that I might be interested in. But of course, I'm thinking about Christmas for other people, not for myself. So I can't buy it.
Whose Twitter were you interested in? Mine or hers? Because you don't actually have one.
I do.
Do you?
It's in its baby stages. I wouldn't release it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm still ready to I'm still trying to fill it up.
She's trying to fill up her Twitter.
But he does, and he has a good one. So you better give it to him in the chat room.
There's actually a link down there on the left.
Oh, that's right.
You can just click on that.
Yeah.
There's a Facebook one and a YouTube one, and like all the places that are related to the show are available for your browsing convenience.
Speaking of Facebook's been a nitwit for me today. I can't seem to log into my account.
No, it's pretty weird.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is I tried
It didn't even say like, you got the wrong password. It just keeps taking you back to the login screen.
Yeah, it's a login loop. But what's interesting is the first time that I did log in, it came up with this alert that said there's a bunch of friend requests sitting out there that haven't been responded to, and you must remove them. And I said okay, and then at that point I wasn't able to log in again.
Huh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I tried it on my phone too, and it still didn't work.
I think you got hacked.
Well, maybe. Oh well. It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, they're spamming people for friend requests. They're just like, you're out of here, bitch.
I wasn't. There was only like 10. And it was just from people that I friend requested like a year ago, and they never added, so.
No. Well, hell, those people.
So, I don't know, maybe that had something to do with it.
Of course, I immediately had to go and like log into mine to make sure mine was okay. Oh my god, it's an epidemic.
Yeah. Oh well. Can you type in chat room? It won't let me access
I can. This is the right keyboard.
Don't confuse him.
That's my Twitter handle.
Are any of you gamers out there watching? Do you like video games? Do you caress video games? Do you play video games? If so.
Why?
No.
No.
Tell me what you like.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm done, by the way.
Done?
Yeah, that's. I didn't have a whole lot.
You only took up 24 minutes. You still have 6 more minutes.
You can dock my paycheck.
I'm excited to learn we're getting paid now.
Wait, we're getting paid?
Well, those things are like really sharp and stingy sometimes. You don't think there's like going to be much, but it's like it's a really like those e-cigarettes. There's a really thin wispy smoke. It's just like
I know I tried it once.
Yeah, it's
Never again.
it's weird.
But of course, I've only tried a cigarette once and never again. So.
Why don't you try one that like somebody like ripped the filter off of or something?
Yeah, that was the first time I ever tried a cigarette. Is they had they ripped the filter off and I tried it. And that was a bad idea.
Us people are good. Dana, how are you?
Hi, Dana.
So is it time for entertainment news?
Yeah, let's do some entertainment stuff.
Okay,
let's be entertained.
One of the first things that I actually wanted to talk about because some people give us a hard time that we're not a real news show, and I say that's bullshit. It might just be gaming and entertainment, but I ran across this story today in our local news, and I'm going to read you the story real quick, and then I'm going to show you the picture that they had with the story. So the headline was J.C. Penney's robbed in Coeur d'Alene, which is the town in northern Idaho where we live. A man walked into J.C. Penney's in Coeur d'Alene yesterday just before the store closed and robbed the clerk, taking multiple bank bags. It's the first paragraph. It happened at a location 200 West Hanley Avenue just before 8:40. Police say the suspect, described as a man with a dark complexion, wearing a black baseball cap, a black hooded sweatshirt, and dark-colored pants, walked into the store and walked to the only clerk who was working in the men's department. The suspect told the clerk to give him money. The clerk gave the suspect what he had, and the suspect left the scene on foot. No weapon was pulled during the robbery. And if you have any information, please call this number, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, this is the picture that they put up to go with this story. Wait, that's a picture of you. Oh my God. This is the picture they put up. So I can only imagine that this is the individual in the hooded sweatshirt featured here, which appears to be like a 5-year-old.
That poor little thing.
And so, like, all the
I don't see any bank bags in his hand.
Yeah, he must have tossed him to one of his
his little preschool buddies.
One of his accomplices. And so, like, all the comments on this story are just like, "Run, little guy, run!" And like, people are just like, why would you put this picture? It's like, it's not even a picture of the J.C. Penney's in question. It's a picture of one in a completely different state.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
That's actually the one in Washington. A picture of the one in Washington.
Oh.
That's not even a picture of a J.C. Penney in the state where the store is.
So he has a fantastic alibi. He wasn't even at that store at the time.
So apparently, here's some blind.
He's got proof.
Here's some blind woman apparently who's outraged by it. She's like,
what?
"Why do you have this picture of this young child? If this was my child or grandchild, I would be camping outside KHQ right now until the picture was taken down." It's just like, really, lady? You can't tell who the fuck this kid is. I could magnify this thing 1,000 times, and it would just get blurrier. I mean, he's in motion. It's just really a badly cropped photo on their part. But anyway, so if anyone wants to claim that that this is not a real news show, remember that people are reporting on shit like this. So. And who just have we reached such a state of affairs to where you can just simply walk into a J.C. Penney or a Macy's and be like, "Give me all your money," and they don't even fucking question it. They just give it to you. You don't have to.
We might have a gun.
Yeah, we might have a gun.
You might.
This is no gun was shown, and they said all he said was, "Give me the money," and he gave him the money. It's like, is that all it takes? Because don't try that at like one of those 24-hour gas stations, because they're probably not just gonna hand it over so easily.
If I knew it was that easy, I'd be rich by now.
And that guy's got to be. They got to be making fun of him in the break room. Did you hear about what a pussy Ron is? I just came up and asked him to give me your money. Here we go, Mr. Robert. Please don't hurt me.
Oh, that poor guy.
So,
they're gonna get fired.
In the back row,
Oh, man.
real news. KHQ, not so much. At least the stuff they post. At least the stuff they post on Facebook. That was actually a Facebook posting.
At least it's not Fox News.
Well, some of their YouTube stuff is ridiculous. They only get about 6 to 7 views per video, and I thought our station was bad, but they only get about 6 to 7 views per video. But sometimes they just put up like a promo for something that's going to be on the news. So you click on the video to think oh, it's going to be this news story. No, it's just us talking about it later using a service that you don't subscribe to.
Well, that's irritating as heck.
So I'm just just put the fucking story up. Why put a promo up? Wow, we'll get 7 more viewers on our television station because of this promo that we edited together to put on YouTube, whatever.
Wow.
Anyway, come into the new century, folks. News agencies out there. It's all about online content, don't you know?
Yeah, well, they're still trying to keep in with the cable thing, which is apparently completely flatlined.
Yes.
Cable's almost dead now.
So, next thing that I wanted to talk about, and it actually explained our thumbnail for the video, is this gal right here, who is Sydney Leathers. If you don't know who she is, she's the Anthony Weiner sexting partner person gal. Sexting person partner gal.
That's a horrible porn name.
Well, no, that's just her actual name.
No, Wieners.
Oh.
I mean, come on. Could you not be more creative?
No, that he's a politician. That's not a porn star's name.
Okay, wait. Now you got to start over because I just confused myself.
You don't know who Anthony Weiner is?
That guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, sorry. I saw the picture. I was thinking pornography, and then you said Wiener, so it just didn't really register on my.
I'm not even going to attempt to get into that joke because it's been made too many times.
Well, apparently I just made one, so.
But anyway, so so Sydney, since she's become a public figure because she's the Wiener sexting partner, she has gotten into the porn industry because once you're known as a sexual object, I guess you might as well start making a few bucks for it.
There you go.
And personally, I mean, I've looking through photos of her to try to use as a thumbnail, and I'm looking through on Google at them, and none of them really she doesn't really seem like she's that much of a looker. So much. I mean, in some pictures, when she's made up, but it's, there's some questionable beach photography. I don't want to all of a sudden scroll into something that's going to be inappropriate for the internet. So I'm going to just stop right there.
Wait. Inappropriate for the internet or inappropriate for the show?
Inappropriate for the show.
Okay, because everything is.
Yeah, it's good point.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, the reason I'm talking about her at all is because she's decided that her female parts has just got too much extra stuff going on. So she wants to kind of trim up her downstairs, but in a very extreme sort of a way, to give her what she refers to as a cleaner look. So she's going to remove the excessive skin from her.
Oh my God!
From her labia in a procedure known as a labiopscopy. I think is how it's supposed to be said.
Oh, where's the word?
It's right there.
Labiaplasty.
Oh, labiaplasty. Labiopstomy, whatever.
What can we consider? I mean,
It's some medical term that's a combination of the word labia and rhinoceroses, apparently. So apparently, for her to get this cleaner look to her vag, it's going to take $8,400 that she's going to pay to trim down.
She doing an Indiegogo campaign.
That would be something. That would be something.
I need to clip. Sorry.
But I guess she does actually have a plan for paying for this procedure.
Oh no! Don't tell me.
She intends to auction off the pieces.
Oh fuck!
I'm not making this up, people. This is real news. This is real news. She intends to. And I don't know if she's just gonna auction them off together, because I imagine they're gonna. You got to take a little off each side to even it out. So there might actually be there might be two pieces. So there might be two auctions, or maybe it'll be one auction for both pieces, or maybe it just gets taken off in one piece. You imagine it's gonna get a thin middle part. I don't know. It would dry out and break over time. I don't even know what you do with such a thing. But you gotta wonder. She's gonna auction this off. It's just why would somebody pay money to buy a piece of ass that not even she wants? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's this is the most worthless part of my vagina. Who'll give me $5?
Oh my God.
So
this is horrifying. It is the strangest story.
If I find out when the auction is, I will of course keep you informed.
Just in case anybody wants
what the going rate is. I mean, if people are buying cheese sandwiches with pictures of Jesus, then you could get probably a few bucks for this gal's old lips.
The only use I think that could ever have is for a cannibal. I mean, there's nothing else. I'm sorry. I can't think of anybody else who'd want to buy them.
Cannibal. So the only reason you think someone would want to buy them would be to eat them. The only reason.
What are you going to do with it? Put it in a jar in your living room?
I don't know if I was
on your coffee table?
You know, Anthony Weiner's already a pretty weird-looking guy, so I mean, you know, he could purchase them and maybe get them grafted to his ears.
Jesus Christ! Oh,
because they're not quite big enough, so he could just have.
Hi, Devil Boy. Devil Boy says, "Well, some people are really fond of jerky."
That's true. You can make earrings out of them. There's lots of stuff I guess you could do with them.
How much skin are we talking here?
I don't.
She's horrified.
I don't know.
By her own labia.
I did watch a few videos, but I didn't really get a good look at it, so I'm not really sure.
So is she auctioning off individual pieces, or is
like
it?
I said, I don't know. I think it's just the whole thing. I only heard her referring to it as one auction. So and there's no they didn't make mention of a minimum bid, so it's wide open.
Oh, wide open, like her legs will be after she's done with her labiaplasty.
In other porn news, because apparently that's all I ever talk about. So just go to our YouTube page. You'll see the videos that have the most views are the ones where I talk about porn.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you do what works. Anyway, Paris Hilton. You all know Paris Hilton, the girl who's famous for no fucking reason at all.
She's even funny looking. She's famous and she's funny looking.
So, I'm sure everyone remembers back in the day when her porn video came out, and it was entitled "One Night in Paris," which I did watch part of. Because you can only stand to watch something that fucking boring for so long. It's kind of like, when you just scroll through channels, all of a sudden you run across tennis, and you're like, oh, this might be interesting, and I was wrong. It's kind of like that, It's like, I would almost rather watch my grandmother iron clothing because it's got more action. That's
pretty sad for a porn.
Yeah. So, of course, Paris Hilton would be the ironing board. So she's apparently looking to get a website, a Slavic or Slovenian, some Slavic website, removed because this website is using clips from her porno, which she actually does get revenue for because she's in it. But even though it was released without her consent, but then somehow there were lawsuits and things, so now it's still out there and she gets paid for it. But there's nothing cheap about that. Anyway, I'm not judging. I swear to God. So she's trying to get the Slavic website to stop using this practice of putting these clips out there of her to try to entice people to go to their website. Now, I wouldn't really think, that she has, much of an argument because there's a lot of websites that take clips from movies to try to lure people into their website. So that's all well and good, and it's a common practice, so I don't see what she's really so uptight about it. But, of course, the website in question that she has an issue with actually calls itself ParisHiltonVideos.com. So you can see where she'd be like, excuse me.
Yeah, I can understand
so
that.
She's
as
either
boring as it is.
She's either trying to get it shut down or trying to get the domain name changed over to her ownership because it contains her name. And so she probably stands a good chance of making that a reality.
Oh, Lordy Moses.
For her little skinny ass.
Oh, people.
So, there's my porn news.
This world is so fascinating. I still can't get over that labiaplasty thing. I mean, that is just the most bizarre thing I have ever heard. I'm going to go get this chunk taken out of my vagina, and I'm going to auction it off.
I don't think it's a chunk. I think it's a sliver. I think it's a strip.
Whatever it is, it's just weird.
Like if somebody has too many chins, maybe they'll diet. In her case, she's like, fuck the diet. I'll just get them clipped off. But you can find someone to do it for cheaper than $8,400.
I'm gonna go get liposuction and auction off my my fat.
Auction off your fat. Make it into some sort of frothy looking dessert. Make it more appealing.
Or a little animal. I can fashion it into a cat.
Yeah, you put it into a kiln and harden it. This got into a really weird area.
Wait, it wasn't already.
Anyway, speaking of other things that are disgusting,
Hey.
Alan J. Schwab, who's a movie producer, and he's produced some fantastic films in his career. He's done, he put up money for Rain Man, Thelma and Louise, and Color Purple. So give you an idea of what caliber producer this guy is.
Nice.
Alan Schwab and his company. What's going on? Did you just make a balloon noise?
I kind of
that?
did, didn't I? No, keep going. Yeah. So the Color Purple.
No, I was moved on from there. Anyway, so Alan Schwab and his company, Star Partners, are looking into doing a sequel. It's not a remake; it's a sequel to "It's a Wonderful Life."
Ooh.
The 1948 classic film. Do I have information of it? I do. Yes. Oh, I can't see the date, but yes, I believe it's 1948.
Okay. Yeah, 1945 actually.
Oh, 45. Better. So, they're remaking It's a Wonderful Life.
That is so cool. Is it going to be a sequel or is it a remake?
Sorry. I just clarified that. It's actually a sequel,
Oh, okay.
not a remake. And the idea behind it is they want to see what's happened to the Baileys of Bedford Falls after the original film. And I was like, well, I just assumed that they lived, happily ever after, and life was wonderful, as the title implies.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently Alan doesn't see it that way and feels that there needs to be a sequel to it, which they're toying with the idea of calling it It's a Wonderful Life, the rest of the story.
Oh, good God. As if 60 years ago they didn't finish it.
Now, to help, so people don't feel, excluded, who were big fans of the original work, the powerful minds there at Star Pictures are getting original cast members to appear in the sequel.
No way.
So we've got, I make the worst notes ever. Carolyn Grimes, who originally played Zuzu, who had been about 6 years old at the time, who had the most annoying line ever in a movie. Teacher says every time a bell rings an angel gets you.
You thought that was annoying? I think that's cute.
Okay, it was cute, but it gets annoying.
They keep repeating it over.
So she's going to be in it, but the troubling part about her being in it and being, potentially one of the central characters, because she's going to be resuming her role as Zuzu. When she did that role, she was like 7 years old at best.
So she was born in like 1938.
And she hasn't been in a movie since 1950, 1951.
Good God, she's in her 70s.
And if you do a Google search for Carolyn Grimes on any of your internet search engines that you enjoy, all you're going to see are pictures of her still trying to sell herself as little Zuzu, because there's a bunch of pictures of her with like bells, and every caption has like so and so, she was Zuzu. So it's like the only thing that she's known for, and they're trying to get other cast members, I guess, involved. But again, you're talking about a lot of people that actually acted or been in the film. So it seems like they've got a questionable writing staff. They've got people who used to write like old Bob Hope specials and shit like that. So the whole thing just sounds like it just got potential to be really, really frightening.
It does sound kind of bad. I'm almost scared to see it. I don't want to ruin the 19th. That's a classic. Why would they do that?
The only glimmer of hope that really any of us have is the fact that NBC owns the rights to It's a Wonderful Life A lot of people believe that it's public domain, but that's not true. Anytime you see it, because they play it every holiday season at Christmas time, it's the only time they ever play it or really release the rights to it if you own, a DVD copy, or if you're that old to own a VHS copy. Or maybe Laserdisc, who knows? Then chances are that that money has gone to the National Broadcasting Company because they own the rights to it. So they're probably not going to release them because apparently they're very choosy about what they do with it, and they only play it on their own network once a year, for fuck's sake. So they're probably not going to be so inclined to be like, oh yeah, sure, make a sequel.
So there is hope.
There is hope. And some of the executives at NBC, if any of them have any decency or common sense, might be able to help us get through this dark time in motion picture history.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
I haven't been paying attention to anything in the chat room. Have you been following along?
Yes, I have.
With our friends and neighbors?
Yes, I have.
Oh, good.
Devil Boy had to quip something that I could not stop laughing at, and that's why I made a balloon noise.
Okay.
I am so sorry. But Devil Boy, it was back on the whole, the labiaplasty thing. He said maybe she got tired of the chafing caused by them flapping in the wind. And so that just, I don't know why that just struck my funny bone, but it did.
Anytime something's flapping in the wind, you find it hysterical.
I know, I do. Devil Boy said dropped on my head as a lot as a child. Apparently so was I.
She's a fan of flopping.
Flapping in the wind.
Flopping pen.
And he also said it's a wonderful life except for this new part.
Except for this new. And I'm just kind of wondering, is it going to be sad at the end? Are they going to mess it up somehow?
Oh, probably. I bet just people are going to die.
Oh my god.
He said it's going to be like every time a bell rings, these ancient actors get residuals.
Nice.
Lovely.
So this is a kind of a YouTube-ish news that I want to talk about, and I just ran across this kind of accidentally. I think I used to be subscribed to this channel once upon a time. For those of you, I guess if you're watching this show on the internet, you must watch other things, so you're probably familiar with a website called YouTube.
Maybe.
You might be also familiar with YouTubers like Shay Carl, Philip DeFranco, Cassim G, Lisa Nova. Who was one of those other? There was a bunch of other YouTubers that started a few years ago. I think it was like 3 years ago. Might have been 3 years ago. Started a YouTube channel that they called The Station.
The Station.
That's right. THESTAT. The Station. And so it was supposed to be this, huge deal. All the YouTubers that were a part of it were hyping it up on their individual vlog channels and stuff. And so it ended up getting like 1.5 million subscribers, I think.
Oh wow!
At one point, and they did a lot of shows and content on that for a while. Even though a lot of the YouTubers that I started watching it for, weren't a part of it anymore, because it was kind of a maker studio thing. So when like Philip DeFranco and a few of the other people kind of like left Maker Studios, then it just became a big group of YouTubers that I really didn't care that much for. So I didn't really pay attention to it, and at some point I must have unsubscribed because I was totally unaware of this. Like I said, I just ran across it the other day. So here's Maker Studios. They've got all these partners who have this collective channel together, and then they just stop making videos, just like out of the blue, no real announcement or anything like that. So they haven't put a video on this channel in like 2 years, and then I just ran across it the other day and realized they've changed the name of it. It's now called Nacho Punch.
Okay.
And you can see,
it still says the station.
Yeah, it still says the station. I mean, that's still the channel name, but they've changed the name of it to Nacho Punch. And you can see they don't quite have the 1.5 million subscribers they used to. It's kind of dropped down a little bit. But you can see their last video that they had there was 2 years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, so they came out with this, I guess, a month ago. It's only got 22,000 views compared to the 3 million that their latest video got. So apparently a lot of those subscribers there are passive. So they released this, which I will show you now.
Okay, so if you would like to take the seat here.
It's a commercial.
You can skip it.
I'm skipping it.
Feel good.
Hello?
Could someone just skip all that?
Chill wave, new wave, wave goodbye.
Yeah, oh wait, what's wave goodbye?
It's like goodbye!
Yes, that's Dothraki there speaking. This is the internet shot quiz.
Ah, jeez! No, okay. Whoa, that felt like a snake just bit my nutsack.
Oh, that's a shiny ball.
My name is Rahat. Today, I'm going to be coaching him through a prank.
So yeah,
Fascinating.
so that's what their last video looks like. So apparently they're going to go in a different direction with the channel. But the thing I find funny about it is, they say like, oh, there's going to be, this fresh new content coming soon, and
It was a month ago.
it was over a month ago. It was like 6 weeks ago. So so soon. I guess they're thinking of it like when they do a movie preview. They're coming soon, and that could be like in 4 months
Or next year.
So maybe they're thinking of it like that. But what I think is going on is that they came up with this awesome concept, and then they put this video out, and then hardly anyone watched it, and they're like, well, okay, fuck, never mind. So again, on this story, I'm actually going to keep an eye on this channel, let you know what's going on with it.
Yeah.
But I can't bring myself to subscribe to it again.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So
I
I'll
mean,
just
it
have to.
doesn't-
I'll just have to remember to check back. But
doesn't make
yeah,
any sense to me.
I don't know what they're up to with this, but it'll be interesting to see if it becomes anything worth. And actually, the station, I didn't check on their other channel, but they actually had the Station 2. They had like a spin-off channel. So I don't know if they might still be doing stuff with that one. I don't even know. So
Thanks for becoming a fan, Leah Lee.
one thing I'm a little excited about, I wish I'd seen more names on this, but they started selling tickets for VidCon quite early this year, earlier than they did the previous year. And this year they've added an extra day. It used to be like the first day was just like the big $1,000 ticket that you would buy so that you could go to the first day, which was mostly for creators. And then they had the other 2 days that were for creators and fans alike. And now it's just 3 days worth of stuff for everybody. So the tickets are going to cost a little bit more. The pre-sale early bird tickets are pretty much the same price as they were last year if you're buying the early bird ones. And they just started announcing the people that are going to be featured guests. There's going to be a lot of YouTubers there, but the ones that are actually invited there by the convention to either speak or appear. And the list is quite small so far because they just kind of started putting people on it. But so far we have Zay Frank, which I'm very happy about. And of course, because Zay Frank's there, a Wheezy Waiter will also be there because that just makes sense. John Green and Hank Green, because, well, where else would they be? They kind of created it. Well, one did and just forced his brother to go along with it, depending on how you look at it. Justine, Olga K, the usual suspects, Daily Grace, Shay Carl, and a bunch of other people I don't know.
Wasn't Justine? She was supposed to be there last year and then didn't go. Was it Justine?
No, that was Jenna. Actually.
Oh, that's right.
Jenna Marbles. Justine, I don't remember.
No, she was there.
Did we see her last year? I know I saw her. I know I saw the year before that. Because we walked by each other and gave each other like this awkward look, like, do I know you? I know who you are. No, okay. Hannah Hart is going to be there. Other confirmed people. There's like one person. Oh, Charlie McDonald. And yeah, a bunch of other people that I don't really know, but you guys probably do. Like I said, the list is very small. It's only about at least like 16 people so far.
So far.
And so I imagine that list will grow slowly, and soon.
Yep.
So last year I think there was like 50-ish, 60-ish people on there. So I'm always excited to see like who they've added, because some people I want to make sure that when I buy a ticket, like, well, I'm going to be seeing these people, and it's totally worth it. So there.
When did Google Plus come out? Was it a month ago?
A month ago?
No, I mean the whole link between the Google Plus and YouTube. Or was it like just a couple weeks ago?
That was just a few weeks ago.
Okay. That answers that.
It was not that long ago.
It was not. It was not.
But it's still frustrating for me because I don't always get to comment on my videos or videos on our channel, and so sometimes I won't get to them for a week or so, but I still want to respond to them, and when I go to respond to them, those people haven't connected their Google Plus account, so I can't really respond to them yet.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sucky. So it's just I didn't ignore you. We've just been disconnected by the internet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're gonna wrap up our show here because I don't like to risk going over because that's just rude. Who wants to stay beyond their accepted time limit?
Well, especially
Not
when
I.
somebody's going to be waiting.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone actually behind us waiting.
Not yet.
But you never know. Someone could pop in there and they'd be like, "Who are these fuckers
Downvote!
clogging up the internet?" It's us. It's just us. Relax. Anyway, as always, I'm Dr. Gaffer. This is you, Ming. You've been in the back row. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time
Hooray!
to fill you in on all your entertainment and gaming news that you need, and some that you don't need and nor want. But we will give it to you anyway because we like to force things on people. Not.
Whoa, hang on.
Sorry,
That's just
true.
me.
We love
That's
you.
just me. Love you. Bye, people. Have a great weekend.